All right. Hey, Team Indy, asynchronous snow day numero dos. I hope all of you were able to get out in the snow yesterday, sled ride, help your neighbors out with shoveling some driveways. Well, today, numero uno, first thing I'd like you to do is double check that you completed any items or did not miss any items from yesterday, just in case you were not aware that we did have some things to complete. So if I head over into Monday's folder, complete Happy Monday. If you go there, there are a couple items within the slides. One of those was a Desmos assignment and a majority. If I go over to our Desmos page, I'd say 208, Mrs. Haddix. Majority of you have done it. 209, Mrs. Monaco. Then we have Miss Irig in my homeroom. We still have a good bit left that need to complete those items. So again, that's in the Monday folder. So after that, there was just an exit ticket I wanted you to try, and it had to deal with tables and placing numbers in regards to the variable to see what came out or what comes out of it. Now, today's assignment is there's the video that we're on right now, and what's going to happen is I'm going to pull up a Jamboard here in a little bit, and I'm going to go over some of the parts of Chapter 7 equations. We're going to jump into that. Now, I'm going to practice some of the problems on that Jamboard and on this video. And then following that, you're going to go over to these two different IXL assignments. The first one, it says, does X satisfy the equation? That will be this right. Not right there. Take it back. Which X satisfies? Hang tight with me. I have to go back to Chapter 7. The page refreshed. So does X satisfy an equation? So if you click that link, it comes over to here. And all it is asking is if you plug in the number that they're giving you. So if Z is 3, is this equation true? 5 plus 3 equals, does that equal 9? No, 5 plus 3 equals 8, so no, it's not satisfied. Hit submit. Is Q equal 5 a solution to this equation? 7 minus 5, that would equal 2. That's a 0, so no. Is A equal 11 a solution? Well, 4 plus 11 is 15. That's 50. No. So I've already gone through this. I'm already up to 30. Get to at least 80, unless it's taking you much longer than the 10 minutes that I expect, that you should at least give it a try. If you want to go back, remember, there are always items down below here you can practice, and you can go even forward or past this, in the sense of if you get to the 100, it continues on and moves you almost on to 7th grade, maybe 8th grade, different topics. So that's up to you. Now, if I go over to the other one, which is the other IXL assignment, what value of y is a solution to this equation? So you have to figure, does 7 minus 3 equal 4, or does 8 minus 3 equal 4? I think 7 minus 3 equals 4. Maybe I'm going to write it down on paper. Maybe I'm going to use a calculator. Put y equals 7. Correct. 9 times what equals 81? Because the opposite of multiplying here is dividing. So if you want, you could just say 81 divided by 9. Well, that's 9. 64 divided by 8 is 8. And you can continue on with that. Now, I'm going to pull up a Jamboard. And within this Jamboard, it just says Tuesday, 221, Chapter 7 equations. In our book, if you have the actual book, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. Remember, you can always sign on to our math series. It's in our this week's folder. Scroll down underneath Monday and Tuesday. Now I'm going to turn it over to the next page, and I'm going to move to the next page. So Chapter 7 equations. How do you determine if two numbers or expressions are equal? So that's the main portion of this. Okay. How do you determine, and I'll just go right here, main thing. How do you determine if two numbers or expressions are equal? So that's the main question we're going to be able to answer at the end of this chapter, and many, many more. And then down here is just a chart. Okay, it talks about zip lines. If you want to try this, you can. I've never gone zip lining before. Maybe some of you have. Okay, again, it's just a table. I'm going to go to the third page of this Jamboard. These are some of the key vocabulary words, and I will look for a earpod for this. Maybe some of you already have one that you could help us out with. And study skill at the bottom, the studying math, simplify the problem. So this is just some extra practice if you want to go on to that. And we may get into doing we might do this problem once we get back into class on Thursday. But the vocab I would take a look at in the sense that we're going to want to know what these words mean, especially when we're going into problems that use this vocabulary. Now, this is where the actual pages come into play. Chapter 7, lesson 1 has our vocab right over here. An equation is a mathematical sentence showing two expressions are equal. So before an expression was just numbers, variables, and operations, where now an equation has an equal sign. Okay. So if we're looking down below at the bottom here, down here, it says Anna bought a package of 6 pair of socks. She writes the equation below to find how much she paid per pair. Circle the solution of the equation. So we need to figure out if this 6 times x equaling $9, how much was each one? Well, you could go in here and just try and do mental math. 6 times 2. So I'm plugging this 2 right here into the x. Well, 6 times 2 is 12, so that's too much. And 50 cents, 50 cents is also, think about it as half. So half of $6, oops, 6 times is $3. So there's only one left, and I would still double check it, but that is your answer. Now this is saying which one satisfies it. That kind of goes with one of those IXLs. If you continue on, if I go to that next slide, it says when you replace a variable that results in a true sentence, right up top here, you solve the equation. So when you make it true, that means you've solved it. Okay, when it's true, you solved it. The value for the variable is the solution. So that 7 right there was your solution. Now, if you go down through the bottom here, there are some, let me zoom in maybe a little bit better. I'll drag it around. Like if you go down to the bottom here, solve g minus 7 equals 3 mentally. This is one that g minus 7 equals 3. A lot of kids will say 4. Yeah, 4 is it. 4 minus 7. Well, 4 minus 7 is actually negative 3. Here's how you can do it mentally. Let me get a different color pen out. The opposite right here. Think of it. What is the opposite of subtracting? Okay, addition. So add 7, and this is mentally. So 3 plus 7 is 10, so g equals 10. Now g, which is 10, we just said minus 7 equals that 3. We look up here, and that is correct. So think about it before you say your answer out loud. Think, is it going to make it a positive or a negative? Is it going to maybe make it a decimal instead of a whole number if we're doing multiplication or division? Now, I'm going to zoom back out. Let's go to 50%. If you want, you can try some of these problems off to the side here, but I'm going to move to that last page now. And this last page is page 516 and 517. If you take a look, says identify the solution of each equation from the list given, meaning you want to try these numbers out in for W. So 9, whoops, not G. I'm going to just rewrite 9 plus, I'm going to use the first number, 7 equals 16. Nope, that's wrong. Okay. 9 plus 8 equals 17. Well, that's your winner. So you want to put 8 here. 8 is the winner. If you want to try some of the ones below. X minus 11 equals 23. Again, it's not 12. It's not, if 12 plus 11 will be 23. So mentally, you have to think opposite of subtracting is adding 11. Add 11 here, add 11 here. Now your answer is 34. X equals 34. If you're not comfortable with really saying that's your final answer, well, double check it. 34 minus 11 equals 3, 2, 23 up there. Checked it off. Okay. Now, if you go to the other side of the page, let me see if I can zoom over to this other side. There might be some multiplication problems. Okay. So just remember, the biggest thing with when we're doing this is opposite of adding is subtracting. Opposite of multiplying is dividing, and then vice versa. And opposite of subtracting is adding, and opposite of dividing is multiplying. So take your time, look through this. If you have any questions, message me. I'll try and see if I can find some videos in case you're having some trouble with it. Once you complete that, once you complete those IXLs, there is another exit ticket, just like yesterday, that you'll want to fill out. Try it. Is t equal to 20 a solution? So does 42 minus 20 equal 10? I don't think so. 42 minus 20 equals 22. Or you could even think of 20 plus 10 is 30, and that doesn't equal 42. So there's a couple different ways you can go about that. So message me if you have any questions. Here are the items within it. I'm going to upload this right now. Good luck, and I will talk to you all soon. Toodles, Team Indy. Whew, it's hot.